This is going to be an interesting episode.
That's why I don't do it anymore.
I'm sure all of you have been set up. That's what we're going to talk about today.
Oh,
What an
we are going to
adventure.
talk about setups. Stay tuned.
I'm Linnea.
I'm Amy.
And I'm Buzz. Today on LDS Singles Anonymous, we're going to talk about the most dreaded thing that you've ever had happen to you. And I don't know why it is that the people that are closest to you feel this need. They feel the need to set you up. You're single, you're broken, quick, let's fix you. Why do they do that? I have no idea. Here's the first thing I'm going to say about this whole topic, and probably the only thing I really have to say about this whole topic. I learn, and I tell them this too, very important to tell them this. I learn that these people's view of me is directly proportional to the person they set me up with. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I go, oh my gosh, you think that little of me? Wow. And I usually tell them that.
Yes, I do too. It's actually a really good qualifier because then people rethink their setup idea. Like I had someone, bless her, love this woman. She was talking to some random woman that she met somewhere, and that woman happened to mention that she had an older single son, and he liked math. And this woman, again, bless her, I love her, she said, I know someone who is single and likes math. Let's set them up. And I was just like, you what? You're trying to set me up with someone you don't even know, someone whose mom you just barely met, and the one thing you said that we have in common is that we like math. I mean, I like math, sure, but like, that was your reason? I don't know.
Tells you how much people know about you.
It's true. That's
when they're
true.
like, I see this one or two qualities about you, and so I find someone else with that quality, and I'm like, you two belong together, don't you? And
It's
you're
belong
like,
together. It's not just like, you would be friends. So
we'd
it's
be
like,
friends. I know, like, this is a match made
you
in heaven.
would be, yes. It blows my mind.
Yeah, I'm just reflecting back on that, that's what they think of you, that they think that this is the person, and I'm just not liking that picture.
No, it's just painful.
No.
It's uncomfortable.
Now, I'm a very improper person, and I love to shock people because sometimes they need it. And a guy came to me the other day, he's like, oh man, I got this girl to set you up with. And I am on good enough speaking terms and friends enough that I can do this. And I said, stop right there. Have you thought about leaving your wife for this woman? And he went, what? I said, have you thought about leaving your wife for this woman? Is she of that kind of quality? What do you mean? I said, if she's not, then why do I want to date her? And his whole thing, he's like, I never thought of it. I just, because she's kind of older and she's single and you're, well, yeah. So
it boiled you down to two qualities.
Yeah,
older and you're single.
It was a terrible thing to do, and I probably should apologize, which I never will. But that's kind of it. If somebody comes up to me and goes, you know what? My wife's friend is the coolest person ever. And like, she's top quality, just the greatest person I've ever met. I'd like to set you up with her. I've never heard that ever in my life.
It's never said that way.
You're old and single, pair them up, get them out. If you are the one doing the setting up, think about that. Think about, wow, is this a person that if I were single, I would have a serious interest in? They're that kind of quality? Okay, maybe I do need to set them up with my good friend who's also of that quality.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I get friends who, they're like, this guy, he's great, we're friends, he's awesome. I'm just not interested in him, but I feel like somebody should be. And so they think that I should be that person.
Somebody should be.
They're like, they're great. I just
That's
don't want
the
to date
box
them.
to check.
That was one of my worst. Actually, one of my worst dates that I went on was a setup, and the reason this girl who did not like me, the reason she told me she was setting me up with him was because she felt like I would be nice to him.
Yeah. I feel like that's a thing.
That was it. It wasn't even that she thought we would go well together. It wasn't even that I was single and he was single. We were all the same age. We were all very young college students. But she just thought I would be nice to him. And it was really, I personally think it was because he was trying to go after her and she wasn't interested. And so she was trying to...
Right. If
Shema.
he's interested in somebody else, he'll leave me alone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which, you know,
How about just be honest straight up front? I had one quite a while ago, and it was something like this. Hey, my sister's coming in town. She is been single all of her life. She's going to be down here for a week. She's probably going to be stir crazy and just like going out of her mind come Wednesday because she likes the kids, but she's never had them on this kind of a basis. So, you know, if you want to take her out like Wednesday, Thursday, and just kind of not like serious date, just kind of take her out, go show her a little bit of Phoenix, go, you know, get some food, whatever, talk, have a terrible time, have a great time. I don't know. But that's my expectation. I can live with that.
Yeah.
Like, that's the honesty I want to see if you're going to, quote unquote, set me up. This whole, I know nothing about her and I've never really met her, but this person says that this person says that she's old and single. So, yeah, just, if you set people up, just stop. Please stop.
I did have...
Get some help. There's a hotline you can call. 1-800-CALL-BUZZ.
I did actually have an experience just recently at my work where a coworker came up to me and said he wanted to set me up with his friend. And it was semi-flattering. I say semi-flattering because I didn't know this coworker very well, but I knew he was a good man. And he was impressed enough with me to want to set me up with his very best friend. Okay? So it was
Starting on a good foot.
Starting on a good foot because he, you know, respected me. But of course I went into it with the typical questions of why do you want me to be set up with your friend? And after he went through, you know, I respect you, blah, 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 right? He said, well, I mean, he was basically like, well, he's single and you're single. And I was like, well, great. In the end, not at all. But then the other thing he'd said was, well, I asked him specifically, does he give you permission to set him up? Because he had told me he had not said anything to his friend about me yet, which is a little bit of a flag, like, ooh, you know, is this you being married and thinking I'm gonna fix my friend because I'm happily married, so he's gotta be happily married? And he didn't really give me permission to set him up with people, but I'm gonna start putting him on the market because I think he needs to be single or needs to be married. He can't be single anymore. He swore. He was like, oh, no, he knows. He totally gave me permission. He said, yeah, set me up with people. And I was like, you sure about that? Wasn't so sure. But then the things that he was saying about him just really, like, none of the things that he was saying made it seem like I would be a good fit for this person. Like, it was really obvious that he just did not know me. And the only things that he could say, which are not bad things in and of themselves, okay? So let me clarify that before I say them. The only things he could really say were he is shy and he is just not comfortable with talking to women. He had been recently divorced, and so, you know, talking to women again, I guess getting back into the game was something he was not very comfortable with doing. And so the thoughts that went through my head were, one, shy is not bad, but I am a big personality and I would eat him alive. It's just who I am. I'm just a big person. I collect my little shy friends. I love my introverts. But I need someone to balance.
That, like, are also strong people. They're just quiet.
They're just quiet. And there's a difference between quiet and shy. So, or introverted and shy. There's some separation. So, like, there's a difference there.
Like me. I'm very introverted.
If anyone knows Buzz. introverted is definitely the word that they would use.
Yes, that was the first thing I thought when I met you. First time.
I
In your
seriously-
fancy zoot
There
suit.
goes an introvert.
That's an introvert.
That's
right
an
there.
introvert right
Look
there,
at that
folks.
outfit. That is an introvert's outfit. But then the second part of it that he'd said he's not comfortable getting out there and getting back into the game really made me think, okay, does he actually want to get back in the game?
Yeah.
It really
Or-
now
or-
sounds like you're trying to force him into it, and that is not something I'm looking for. I'm not looking for someone I'm supposed to be fixing
Or
making feel comfortable.
Be honest and say it. Say, man, you know what? He's not been on a date since his divorce, and I don't want you to go out and marry the guy, but can you just go out and have a good time? He's new to the area. He doesn't know anybody in the singles scene. Be honest about it, and I can tolerate it. And say, don't think you're going to be like soulmates. Just can you go and have dinner with this guy?
But that's the problem. No one ever says that, except for that one case. But no one ever says, just be friends. They always say, I've found the one for you.
Think about how the person that you want to set someone up with reflects how you feel about that person, because that's what they're going to take away from it. And then also, don't expect that just because you found two people who are interested in math, that those two people are going to be soulmates. And you can even, when you approach them with, hey, I think you're great. I found a person who is interested in some similar things to you. I feel like it would be cool if you guys got together and met each other. And even if nothing worked out, it would just be, I just feel like you two people should know each other. I would be much more receptive to that kind of approach if someone wanted to set me up.
One asterisk to that, we carry so much baggage of expectation ourselves. Anyone we're going to go out with has baggage of expectation. We don't need the expectation of you as the setter-upper to add on to all that. So how about, hey, this person's in town, da-da-da-da-da, probably not going to go anywhere, but would you be interested in one date with this person? And then let your expectations go. We have enough on our own plate to destroy our own lives. We don't need yours on top of it. So reasonable expectations makes for a happy life.
Well, those are our thoughts. Tell us yours. I am sure there are some great setup stories out there.
We want the setup stories.
We want them.
We want the best setup
They're
story
fun.
right down here in the comments.
Let us know.
We can commiserate together.
I'm sure this will be a great comment section. Please do. Or if you have stories you want to share that are maybe longer and you don't want to post below, email them to us. If you want us to share them on the podcast, I think we could do a whole episode on
We actually
funny
really
setup
want to do
stories.
an episode of just like dating experiences.
I think it'd be great.
Yeah.
Please share.
Send them. But
The
thanks.
best setup story below is going to be the keystone of our setup story episode, which will be aired in just over a month.
Probably. Maybe. Somewhere around there. But thanks for watching. This has been LDS Singles Anonymous. Bye.
Bye.